suddenly your sentries are in the warp prism or they're surrounded. But he kept his head cool. He kept doing it over and over and over again, and he made something out of a very dark position.
We're going to go ahead and hop into game number 3. It's going to be on Iasonu, where we're going to see up in the top right-hand corner of the map the Chinese Zerg player. Is that right, or is he Taiwanese?
I think he's Chinese.
Regardless, it's Iasonu, a.k.a. IA. And his opponent, down in the bottom left, the red Protoss player. He's Korean. He's named after an aardvark. He is Arthur.
He's named after a king.
Aardvark.
You can follow him at Arc SC2.
Iasonu is Chinese. Forgive my...
So you can follow him at Iasonu SC2 on Twitter.
Oh, man. You can't follow Iasonu on Twitter, Kev.
Why not?
Because he's Chinese.
So? Chinese people have Twitter every now and then.
Actually, he's an IG player, so you might be able to follow him. Edison's got that backdoor to the open internet.
I don't know what to say to that. By the way, Ben, we got a long day ahead of us still. I'm really pumped for our next series of today, which will be Jim versus Bomber, and I'm also very curious to see how this one is going to unfold, because I completely agree with what you said. Sometimes even when the score is 1-1 or some player is winning, it kind of feels like the other player is just a little better, or at least playing better. Maybe Arthur is very nervous though. Maybe he needs a little bit of time to get into his groove. Saw it. Spawning pool opening over here, this time for our Zerg. As we see gateway into double assimilate over here for Arthur. Maybe he can carry some momentum over in this series. After that, you know, game 1 wasn't really going his way, and game 2 looked dark, but he was able to make something happen. And as I said, those kind of things feel really good.
Right now, it's once again gateway opening for Arthur. IA has gone for the in-base spawning pool first, not going hatch first.
I think he might gonna try to do a hatch over here.
Oh, wanted to.
But he could still do it somewhere, like as long as it's close enough to build a nexus. What? No, or just like let me block your head. What?
That's so confusing.
Okay.
But okay. Hope Arthur remembers to cancel that.
Yeah. If he doesn't cancel it, he's gonna be a very sad little puppy.
You don't see this very often.
Look how much money both players have right now. Now Arthur is blocking the hatchery as well over here on the other side of the map.
Ew. Oh, he can get it. No, not
He's gonna get at least one hatch down over here on the north side of the map. I mean, he could still potentially block a hatch. No,
not gonna.
He's not gonna do it. So he's just gonna drop the extractor instead. Well, that was a little funky opening over here.
Yeah.
Mind games all over.
To say the least.
What Arthur did achieve, man, is that right now this base is obviously in a little bit of an awkward position against the gateway first.
Yeah, I am kind of hating IA's position here. The 3-gate pressure builds are frustrating in a perfect situation. This is not a perfect situation right now for IA, and 3-gate pressure is going to be moving into a third expansion that is not easy to access because of these rocks on the ramp, and that is virtually impossible to connect with creep because of the just overall windy path that creep and units are going to have to take to get down there. So
4 minute and 30-second third base on Yangsu against the gateway first, while also having gas. That's a little cray-cray.
Yeah. He's going to have to be playing very sharp. And frankly, Kev, I think he's probably going to be forced to make lings, and as a result is going to find himself behind in workers for a long time if Arthur does commit to any kind of aggression. But we don't know that that's going to be the case just yet. 24 probes to 21 drones is the count at the moment, with ling speed just now starting.
Circling speed quarter on the way. We'll see. We'll see what Arthur is able to do. My thoughts were a little drifting a little off over there, fading away. I was in very deep thoughts while you were on your little story. You know, it's like, I was getting really mad at my own thoughts. Then I was getting really mad, and I had a story with myself. And then suddenly I realized I was still on camera. I was like, that's right. Mr. Bido was
now I want to know what you were thinking about.
I was thinking about one of the tweets you just received, but someone who's very, very unhappy with the health bars being on. It's just like, I never knew there was a universal agreement on whether health bars should be in a certain way, or why do you think that your opinion is so much than one else's, and also why you bring the message in a certain way, not asking politely, but in the tone that he was doing it. Kind of pissed me off. Some things made me mad, but that guy made me very mad.
Mothership Core is being very annoying in the natural expansion of IA. Meanwhile, we see that he is warping in Zealots outside the third base of IA. And like we talked about, Kev, IA had to choose between Lings and drones. He chose drones, and as a result, has no real tools to defend this. So this is just an unfortunate circumstance.
He's going to go for the pylon this time, but there's still a probe over here as well, so he needs to kill the pylon and the probe. He's not going to get it. Man. It's tucked away in this little corner. Oh man, this looks pretty okay for Arthur right now.
Yeah,
does he have a transfuse? Nope. He does micro the queen.
Another pylon going down on the low.
A lot of Lings are on the way though.
Yeah, it's 27 out.
And he has 24 more on the way.
Can he hold
Where are they?
this? It's going to be close. With no upgrades on these Zealots,
the queen.
Lings could theoretically clean this up. That's a good time warp.
Yeah, he's just not really microing the queens there. He lost 2 queens already. 2 pylons going down as well. More and more Zealots were just being walked in. There's a spine crawl over there, which is something, but the Mothership Core is going to be hella annoying.
Oh, 1 pylon will fall, and
it's a sick hold so far by
that's
Zerg.
a surprising point of stability for our Zerg player, and he is actually going to turn Arthur back.
Wow, that's sick. Despite losing those queens, he is down 9 workers though, but he's up a base, so with a couple of injects, despite losing those queens, he could perhaps still make something work. Archer is like, hey, in the last game, that Warp Prism thing, that worked pretty good. This time, however, Ben, I feel it's a completely different scenario than on Polar Knight. If this time he goes for 7 or 8 gate with just an Observer and just a Warp Prism, then I think it's going to be a lot more effective than it was on Polar Knight. Because he won't be facing 14 to 16 roaches with Burrow.
And I continues to make very difficult decisions here. He's going up to layer on the back of only 30 some odd drones. He is going to go ahead and drop that Roach Warren, but he's going to be facing another big Immortal attack, Roddy. I think. Maybe not.
I think it's just going to be straight up gateway units with an Observer.
That actually may be the case.
He's getting...
Forge going
even
down.
though he's dropping a lot of assimilators. No, he's going to get Immortals and Sentries and +2 Blink Stalkers, I guess. So you were right. This is not the real push. This is something that, you know, if it works, awesome. I'm going to do a lot of damage. If it doesn't work, that's okay. I got my follow-up ready.
Now, this Warp Prism is going to pass within sight of this Overlord, and the question is how quickly will I react? He needs to get units into the main base, and he sees it. He's reacting just.
He doesn't have any crucial. Oh, he has to worry about the low ground as well, though.
Oh, no!
This is bad.
Oh.
This is bad. That's a lot of force field, Ben.
Well.
Okay, he's going to get roaches, maybe hatching on the low ground as well. But he's going to take a lot of damage over here.
Oh, man, I feel for IA. Arthur's. He's. Arthur casts Enrage, and it's super effective.
There are a couple of Zealots in the turbines as well. No idea where those came from.
Yeah, they came in from. They're the ones.
The Sentry's taking some damage over here, though, Ben. There are a few Stalkers right now. He's picking up the Sentries in time. He's keeping them alive. He's going to drop them again. This is a good execution so far by Arthur. Not a small mistake by IA Pam. Kind of puts him on the ropes. He's losing a lot over here. Zealots are going to town and everything. Great force fields here by Arthur, trapping a lot of units on the ramp. And while Ben is just shaking his head, hating Protoss.
This hate is not a strong enough word right now. I will never ever feel bad for a Protoss player that has to fight Mass Swarm Host again.
Wow.
Never again. Oh man, this just hurts my soul. I is playing such great StarCraft, and he's getting gimmicked to death. And I shouldn't discredit Arthur like that, but this is just brutal to witness.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's no need to all the Zealots be on the high ground.
You're right, you're right. But I know exactly that feeling. He saw the Prism, he panicked, he's like, oh god, I gotta get there! And then Arthur unloads on the low ground, and he's just like, damn it.
Great execution once more by Arthur. He's not losing the sentries, not even to those roaches that hatched on the low ground. Kept them alive, walked in a few stalkers to provide some DPS against those roaches, and then he was able to renew the force field over and over and over again. And right now IA is just pretty much dead. He's only down to 35 workers, lost his natural. Right now he might be he's gonna be locked out of his main once more. Even though a few Protoss units will be locked out as well, but that's still a lot of force that's gonna go down on this main base, man.
Oh, Arthur.
Poor IA.
I understand why Arthur's in the sad clan.
Why?
Because if you spent your life playing like this, it would depress you too.
Not at all. I would embrace victory with a big smile on my face, Ben. What can you do? Sometimes this